So muted. So scuffed. Terrible. Vancouver Foo, thank you for looking out. You guys are great. T Miller, hi. Vancouver Foo, hi. Franti, hi. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you. I would never know. And I do it all the time. So relatable. Hashtag relatable. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Abbers. I play video games sometimes. Yakuza, hi, and Atari, obviously. Hello. We'll get to Atari in a minute. T Miller, hi, Franti, hi, Vancouver Foo, hi, Gimp, hi. It's good to see everybody. So I play video games sometimes on Twitch. Sometimes I interview other streamers. And we do that on a little podcast called Why We Go Live. It's a podcast where an amateur streamer, me, interviews other streamers, you all, about streaming. And today, our wonderful, lovely guest is Atarii. I'm gonna play you a clip real quick so we can get to know her a little bit more. Okay, okay, okay. It's gonna work. It's gonna work, and it's gonna be great. Watch it now.
Oh, ninja! Yes!
Webcam broken. Did you use it too many?
The real hoes are the friends we made along the way. Ma'am, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm.
Chicken nugget.
Ow! Actually, ow! Think that I don't will. Jesus Christ! Why did he scare me? That's so stupid. It's fine. We made it. Oh. Bulldog spice. Bulldog? Bulldog! Now I'm not allowed to die anymore after this. What?
Oh my God, amazing. I didn't watch it ahead of time because I wanted to be surprised and delighted, and I indeed was. Oh, and I'm starting it again just in case, but I'm not gonna because. Anyway, guys, welcome our amazing guest, Atarii. Atarii, hi. How are you?
Hi.
It's so good
Good.
to see
Thank you
you.
for having me.
Oh my God, thank you for being
It's good
here.
to see you too.
Oh gosh. Oh geez. Well, let's just get
cute.
into it. It was very cute little channel trailer. So tell me, when was the first time you streamed?
So I don't have an exact date, but it was February in 2020. And it was just through my brother's PS4. It wasn't even my PS4. My
Nice.
brother's PS4, and I streamed GTA 5,
Okay.
and yeah, it was great.
Awesome. Bring us back to like maybe a week or two or like a few months before that. What was your thought process that led you to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try streaming.
Well, I've always wanted to stream, like, for years and years and years. Like, and years before that, I wanted to do YouTube, and I just never had the time. I was
Mm,
always working. Like, I was always holding down like full-time jobs, two full-time jobs, like just working, working, working. And then like the pandemic hit, and I was like, oh, this might be my time.
yeah.
So I started doing it just like through my brother's PS4, and yeah, I finally was able to get into it.
That's awesome. I think that's a very common story. I think there was a big influx of people during quarantine that was like, oh, maybe this Twitch thing could be a thing I enjoy or a thing I do. I know it's similar
Definitely.
for me, so that's great. Um, what has kind of changed between your content then and your content now, or has anything changed?
Yeah, well, I have a lot more opportunity to venture out and do things that I want to do. I'm not just limited to like PS4 games and not as good PS4 camera. Like I actually
Yeah,
have like a webcam, and I can use my phone as a camera now, and I can play PC games, and just all different kinds of things that I want to do. And real life streaming is an option that back then I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, there's just so much more opportunity.
Love it.
Yeah.
What is the story behind your screen name?
So my screen name is Atari, but spelled more phonetically because my real birth name is Atari, but spelled Atari, just like
Oh,
the brand
wow.
name. Yeah. So for legal issues, I haven't looked at all the laws and everything, but I assumed that I couldn't just use Atari.
Yeah.
So I just spelled it phonetically. It's the way I spelled it um for when I graduated high school because they
Hmm.
want everybody to spell their name out phonetically so they don't mispronounce your name when you
Oh.
graduate. So that's the way I spelled it, and I just kept it ever since.
I love that. I had no idea. That's amazing. Well, and that's funny too.
Yeah.
Like the legal complications. I do wonder. Well, first of all, I bet Atari spelled like the game system is probably not available most of the time, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder, especially with it being like your actual name. It's like I wonder how that works. That's really interesting. Um,
Yeah.
do you remember when you hit affiliate?
Yeah, I think it was like summertime last year.
Okay.
I think so. When I started in 2020, I like started for a few months and then I had to go back to work and then I moved over to the UK. So I stopped streaming for like 6 months because I didn't have any equipment at all.
Mm,
Maybe even a little longer. But so there wasn't time to like hit affiliate or anything.
gotcha.
So yeah, I did last year in the
Okay.
summer.
Okay. So you said you moved to the UK. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, yeah. What inspired the move?
So my husband is he's born and raised in the UK. So
Oh, okay.
after a long process, we decided to move over to the UK.
Gotcha. Okay. And so did that mean that there was like a gap in time where you just weren't able to stream?
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did that climb to affiliate kind of feel like? What was your experience with that?
Mm. So that was hard because I think at the time I was trying to figure out my place in streaming. I still didn't
Mm,
really have like an identity, I guess, or like what I enjoyed playing, that kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll try to meet some other streamers. So I did it what I consider there's no right or wrong way, but personally for me, it was the wrong way.
mm,
I uh went and joined like small streamer discords and none of them felt right because like the people who were making the discords were seeing like all of the views and nobody was really helping each other out. It was kind of like very selfish feeling
yeah.
and there's something wrong here. So I like left all of those. And then I actually went on to like Twitch and like did my own networking and that helped.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I found a cute little streamer group, where everything was mutual and really nice, and we helped each other to get to affiliate. So,
Love that. How did you
yeah.
find those people?
So I literally was just like on the browse page, and I was like, "That's a friendly face. I'll click on them,"
Aw.
and then I in their community and be in their chat for a little while, and that's when they like offered me. Uh, they were like, "Hey, we're making this thing. Do you want to be a part of it?" And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah." And that's
Yeah.
actually where I met Fran as well.
Aw.
So yeah.
Love Fran. Um, yeah, the small streamer Discord kind of thing or the follow for follow thing is really interesting because I
Oh
think,
yeah.
yeah, right? Um, and I think it's something that for so many of us, it's like, at least for me, I know there was kind of this like naivete at first. It's like, oh yeah, like people are gonna like help each other and we're gonna like get to know each other and blah blah. And it obviously is the internet and it's also like
Yep.
in some regard kind of a competitive space, right? So it's interesting to kind of I don't know, go through these experiences with like really great intentions and hope and then kind of be let down by it, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
What are your thoughts on kind of self-promotion and growth and how to go about those things?
Yeah. So I feel like I don't know because I don't personally I don't self promote as in like I don't go to other people and be like, hey, I stream, this is my website, or check me out,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And I definitely don't go into like other streamers spaces and go like, hey, I stream too, like this is me, check me out.
Right.
But I feel like it's more organic to, I don't know, network and stay in your own space and grow your community from the inside out, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What kind of people tend to find you? What kind of people come into your streams?
That's a really good question. So I would say people who are mostly nice and kind, but enjoy like there's like the tiny bit of like chaos and susness that I
Mm,
think we all really enjoy as a community.
okay.
So like we're all very supportive of each other and really nice, and like sometimes we like share pictures and like our life and what's happening in it, and we really enjoy each other. But then there's that little bit of susness that we can all appreciate.
Yeah. What do you mean? Can you go into that a little bit further? Like what do you mean when you say the susness?
I like we'll be having like a great time, and then there'll be like a comment that gets thrown out by like anyone could say it, or anyone can want to like throw hands or something, but we know it's out of like love and out of I don't know, respect.
Yeah,
Nothing with bad intentions.
totally. We've talked before on the podcast about kind of like the friendly trolls, like the fun trolls, you know what I mean? Because there's like
Yes, the fun trolls.
yeah, the fun trolls versus like actual trolls who are being, hateful or
Mm,
bigoted or whatever, right?
yeah.
What do you do in those situations when you encounter like the bad trolls?
So fortunately, I haven't had it on a massive scale, so like hate reading or bot reading or anything, but I've had a couple like malicious single trolls
Mm,
out there. That's just a block. Like
yeah.
I don't pay them any mind. There's like I can't waste my youth on them. I just block them.
Absolutely not.
I block them and forget them, and that's fine. They can move on to
Yeah,
someone else because I won't tolerate that.
totally.
And I want everyone to feel included and respected at all times. So um, if they're disrespecting anyone in chat, me included, like they're gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm very similar. I like I ban first and ask questions later. I'm like, you can
Yeah.
if you really like want to, do an unban request or whatever, go for it. And that very rarely, if ever, happens.
Yeah, yeah. And then for like if I were to get like rated, I have already talked with like the people who mod for me and my friends, and like we have a step system,
You have
and
a
it's pinned in
plan.
the Discord moderator chat, and
Love
like
it.
we know what we're doing. So
Yeah, it's so
yeah.
important. Well, and Twitch recently came out with shield mode. Have you seen that or looked into it at all?
Yeah, that's really, really interesting.
Yeah, what are
Like
your
a click
thoughts
of
on
a
it?
button, you can just shut things down.
Yeah, it's like an
And
SOS
I
button.
I love that. It's great because like I feel like I have to revise my plan a little bit because that
Mm,
helps like that takes down like 2 or 3 steps, like with a
yeah,
click of a button, you can just put it in like subscriber mode or emote mode,
right.
and like um yeah, it's great.
Yeah. It's one of those things that for me it's like thank you Twitch for finally recognizing that, the hate raids and follow bots and all of these things like are happening. And
Yes.
I'm very grateful for it. Like I'm I'm angry at Twitch for not figuring it out sooner, but also like better late than never, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I watch almost every patch notes that Twitch does because I actually enjoy them, and I like seeing like the new things that Twitch is coming out with and everything. But I'm
Mm,
always keeping a special out. I'm like, okay, what are you doing about raids? What are you doing about raids? What are you doing about raids?
yeah.
And sometimes they mention it, other times like it's something else. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm
patch
glad that they
notes are
finally
interesting.
did. That's yeah, you know what? I feel like now I need to pay more attention to it because I really yeah, I haven't paid as much attention to it as I think maybe I should.
Yeah.
Interesting that you say that. Um, what kind of streams inspire you? What kind of streamers inspire you?
Ooh. So all kinds. There are streamers that I watch that just like give me a very cozy, calm vibe.
Hmm.
There are streamers that are just like purely chaos where every single second is noise and memes and yelling and being drunk sometimes,
Hmm.
and it's I really 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 enjoy those. There are other people who are just funny. They're
Yeah.
just everything that comes out of their mouth I'm like crying laughing. So I think I get inspiration from all types of streamers really, because
Yeah.
they're like everyone can be successful doing their own thing, just being themselves. That's just proof.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and it's interesting, I think, that um, who you are becomes kind of the commodity, right? And so there's
Yeah.
something very interesting about that in terms of like your streamer self versus your personal life self. What is that relationship to you? Like what you on stream versus you in real life?
Mm. So I feel like I don't know, because you have to be talkative if you're streaming to
Sure.
like your community and talking to people. I feel like in my real life, I'm much quieter.
Hmm.
I'm much quieter.
Yeah.
There are times where like I can go all day without talking, but as soon as I'm streaming, I'm like, hey, how are you doing? What's up? This is what happened to me today. How are you?
Hmm.
And just saying random things that I don't even remember 2 minutes later.
Sure.
But I'm definitely much more quieter and to myself in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are there certain boundaries that are really important for you to maintain between your personal life and your streaming life?
Yeah, yeah. There are certain things that do either happen in real life, and I have to process, and then I'm like, okay, I can tell my community that's fine. And then there are certain things that happen where I'm like, nah, that needs to stay with just me.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's safe. I feel like that's how a lot of streamers get into trouble because they're too open
Mm.
sometimes.
How dare you
They're
call
just
me out like this? No, I'm totally get that. Yeah.
but yeah, I think just for the community's protection and my own as well, just have some good soft boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you enforce those?
Um I mean, if someone's like trying to infiltrate and like ask more about what's going on, I would just be like, "Oh, sorry, I don't feel comfortable sharing that."
Yeah.
And just leave it at that. There doesn't have to be a reason. I think that even in real life you should respect people's privacy, because you don't go to your next door neighbor and like look in their window and you're like, "Hello."
Yeah.
Like what's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
So,
There's kind
yeah.
of this idea sometimes I think that like people owe you or that you owe people information, right? And so I think that can be this kind of
Yeah.
delicate balance of like wanting to be open and transparent and authentic and also wanting to protect yourself and maintain, yeah, those boundaries like we talked about.
Yeah, definitely. But that's what I love about my community is I know they won't like pry, and I won't pry into their lives either.
Right.
It's like a mutual respect.
Definitely. Definitely. This idea of community on Twitch is really interesting. What what are your thoughts on your community and just communities in general in Twitch?
Mm. I think that as a streamer, we call it our community because really we're like the leaders
Mm-hmm.
of our community, so you can sense if you go into like a stream and the streamer's kind of toxic and like saying like terrible things, so is the community. You can already just tell by like the streamer how the community is going to be.
Yeah.
So if you're coming to like an inclusive, really positive, nice streamer, you can assume, maybe not safely, but you can still assume that that community is going to be uh safe and nice as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I very much judge a streamer on their Twitch chat, I think because the streamer is the one kind of curating that space, right?
Ye-
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're the ones that say what goes, who stays, and who goes, I mean.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the power, that's the control that you have, right? Which is
Yeah.
kind of a nice thing, and also there's a lot of responsibility there, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You recently were chosen to be part of UK Black History Month on Twitch, which congratulations, that's amazing. What was
Thank
that
you.
experience like for you?
Oh my god, it was absolutely amazing. Um Twitch okay, so the thing is that UK Black History Month is much different than the US Black History Month in regards to Twitch, in that it's like super super small. Most
Mm,
people were like, I didn't even know that the UK had a Black History Month, and why is it in October, and like all of these things.
yeah.
And also being someone who like didn't grow up in the UK and doesn't know a lot of the UK's Black history,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, thank you for like letting me do this. Um, but it's very interesting to see like the differences in how Twitch handled the US Black History Month versus the UK Black History Month.
Mm,
But being a small streamer, I was just happy to be like like asked and invited. So it went really, really well. I had, I think, 3 or 4 days where I was featured on the front carousel, which was
yeah.
like insane.
Yeah.
I tried not to look at numbers, but I could see a couple times like people in chat saying like, "Oh my god, there's 3,000 people here," or "Oh my god, there's 2,000 people here," and I'm like, "Ooh,
Yeah, that's wild. That's yeah, especially
yeah."
coming from like, and I don't know off the top of my head what your viewer average is, but I imagine that like that's a big difference, right? Like,
Oh my god, it shot up so much, like, my average, that I think a lot of, PR people and, like, talent acquisitionists were really confused, and, like, my emails were crazy for, like, the next 2 weeks. They were like,
wow,
"Hey, we have an opportunity here," and I was like, "Yes, yes, 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 it's fine.
that's
You don't need to know
awesome.
that I'm not a huge streamer," but,
Yeah. No,
it was
yeah.
great.
Lean into that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were there any like surprises that came with that or anything that you didn't, expect to experience?
Mm. Honestly, not really. I didn't expect that many people to be in on it, really. I was like, it would be fine if I just got like 3 extra friends, to just
Yeah.
say hi to you, but it ended up being so much more than that. But yeah, I think it was everything that I expected, because another thing that Twitch did really well was they prepped you. So they
Okay.
sent you like a bunch of emails saying like, this is going to go on, this is how it happens, this is a great way to protect yourself, like two-factor authentication and all of that.
Nice.
And like you might want to add extra mods. Like they sent like a whole bunch of like stuff on what to expect, how to protect yourself, and yeah, it
Good.
was great.
That's actually really that surprises me. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What are
It
s-
was it was great.
yeah, good. I'm so glad. What are some of the differences in the way that Twitch handled US History Month and then UK History Month?
I think that well, just from what I heard and like other people who've been like a part of it and a part of both, we're saying that there are a lot more visibility for US creators and US Black creators as well than there are for UK Black creators.
Mm,
Um, like on the shelves for Black History Month, there were like tons of people, whereas in UK Black History Month, sometimes you could only see like 3 people on the shelf. I think it was like some kind of a glitch that they never fixed.
mm,
But you could only see like 3 people if there were like maybe 12 Black History Month creators streaming. So it was really poor in terms of visibility. Um, but the US one, there's like a lot more creators to fill up those spots.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's indicative in general of being a UK streamer versus being a US streamer?
I think a lot of American streamers, and especially like people who stream in that time zone, are going to they'll have an easier time finding their communities and viewers and like-minded streamers. I feel like it took a long time for me to even find another streamer that looked like me until like I actively searched, and
Mm,
then I found out, oh wow, they're literally all around me.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Well, in terms of just like being black and being a transplant from the United States, the UK, being a woman, there's all these different kind of aspects of identity that inform who we are and how we kind of show up. How does your identity and just like your background show up in your stream?
Mm. Wow, that is an amazing question. I don't know. I feel like that I don't know how to answer that.
That's okay.
I feel like I surround myself by more so things I like than who I am. So like I'm really into flowers and colors. And so like I surround myself with like flowers and colors.
Hmm.
Um I mean when it comes to being black a lot of times or sometimes, not a lot of times, but I'll like take down my hair or I'll like twist it up while I'm talking to people, and sometimes I end up talking about my hair. Yeah, I don't know because that's a huge thing for black identity. Like our obviously our hair is like wildly different and it's very important to the culture.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I besides that, I'm not too sure
Yeah.
actually. I have
Yeah.
to think about that.
Well, I think it's just interesting you talked about you're like, I don't know if it's who I am or what I like. And I wonder, for a lot of us, maybe what we like is part of who we are, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
necessarily think those things are mutually exclusive, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, we talked about kind of what sort of people find you. What impression do you want to leave on people when they first find your stream? What are you hoping they get out of your stream?
I want them to feel good.
Yeah.
I don't care if they follow me or if they subscribe or if they join the Discord or whatever. I want them to feel good because I know how it feels to be on the outs and uh not feeling like you belong somewhere.
Mm,
And as long as you feel like you've had a good time and that you feel included and you know you click the X off my stream and have a smile, then I feel like I've done a good job.
yeah, absolutely. Well, it's what you were talking about, enjoying chaotic streamers and enjoying just like really funny streamers, and it immediately made me think of your Friday stream ritual. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so I haven't done it in a minute just because I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. But yeah, on Fridays we play Black's Friday, and I take whatever I have near me and I dance with it, and there's lights and people are spamming emotes and we're just singing Friday. It's great.
It's delightful. I remember the first time I saw you do it, and I was like, "This is amazing." I love it. So, yeah, for the record, I think that you do a really good job of leaving people with a smile and feeling included and welcomed. I know
Thank
I have felt
you.
that way in your stream. Yeah, absolutely. Talked a little bit about numbers in terms of like numbers on a normal day, numbers when you're being featured on the front page, right?
Yeah.
What is your relationship to the numbers and the algorithm?
Yeah, so I never really looked at numbers, especially when I was first starting out. I was like, I'm just here to have fun. It
Hmm.
was just me playing like GTA and like floating in the river or like just doing random things. Now I keep them in my peripherals. I'm not
Hmm.
focused on the numbers because I feel like that's a bad way to be. When streaming becomes just about the numbers, you're not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
That's just personally how I feel. So it's important if you are serious about streaming, because some people do it as just a hobby, but if you are serious about streaming, like keeping an eye on the numbers but not being hyper focused and saying like what can I do next to get those numbers up. No, you have to let it grow organically. um it's good to put hard work and effort in, like diversifying your socials, doing like all of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when you are hyper focused on the numbers, it's bad for your health.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Do you ever get, anxiety or feel pressure around streaming?
Only Usually at the beginning of stream, but
Okay.
I've learned how to how to handle that or how I need to handle that.
Yeah.
I think I told you a little bit earlier. I press the start streaming button and then I leave. Like I click it and then I just go because I don't want to think about it at all. Like
Yeah.
those I leave it for about 5 minutes. And once 5 minutes hits, I'm back and I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
But in those 5 minutes, I'll like take a lap or two around the apartment and I'll make myself something to drink. I might talk to Noodle, who's my husband,
Okay.
and yeah, and then I come back and I'm good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any post stream rituals kind of like that?
Post stream, I okay, so I usually rate into someone, say hi or whatever, say that I need to eat because I always need to eat after.
Totally. Yep.
And then I leave them on lurk. And then I'll either grab something to eat or I really will just like lurk and like see what they're about kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
After that, like later on at night, I'll just like curl up and I'll either watch Taskmaster or something. I don't know, something.
I love Taskmaster
Oh my god,
so
it's so
much.
good.
So
It's so
much.
good.
I'm so grateful that there's so many seasons on YouTube because I just, it's like, it's a happy place show. I love it.
Oh my god, it literally is. And I was like, if I ever had the chance to be on that show, I would love it.
I
Or
want
like
that for you so badly. I would watch that.
yeah,
I mean, I would watch it regardless, but like, I would definitely watch it if you were on it. Like, 100%. I
it
would like
would
make
be
a point to
so
watch it.
good.
Yes.
Or like I was like, how can I like do this? Because I want to like get a bunch of friends and like get some meaningless tasks and have them do it and have like three cameras set up and then edit it like it's a Taskmaster episode.
Oh,
Like
amazing.
I love it. So yeah.
I love hearing like big ideas like that and dreams like that. And I like
Mm,
in this moment I'm like manifest, like let's make it happen because I think that would be so cool. What are some of
yeah.
your like streamer goals like that? You mentioned that obviously. Are there other projects or things that you're really excited about or that you want to do in the future?
Yeah, so I have some things that I'm kind of keeping under wraps because I do like that idea. I have a lot of big ideas, and some of them, like, I think them through and I'm like, oh no, we'll throw that away. And others, I'm like, we could make this work. Um, so I'm thinking about doing like a monthly, like, game show type of thing. I won't talk too much about that because I know like a lot of people in my community are in here, so I want them to be surprised. But
Yeah.
um, that type of thing, I'd love like as far as goals go to get my first sponsored stream by a company that I actually like would like to work with and like means a lot to me and not just like a random sponsored stream. Um, and I would love to just like grow on more socials like my YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm still learning about all of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
one
an
step at a
interesting
time.
world. Totally. Yeah. One day at a time, one step at a time. Absolutely. And I think it's really interesting to like think about having big goals and then also figuring out how to kind of break it down in a realistic way. How do you go
Yes.
about goal setting and kind of being realistic and being kind to yourself in that process?
Yeah, that will first, that is a huge thing, is what you said, is being kind of yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be kind to yourself. You have to be gentle with yourself. You can't
Yeah.
say like, okay, I want 1,000 followers by tomorrow. That's gonna like no, there's no way that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And like no. So sometimes I'm very visual and I like write
Mm.
things down
Yeah.
because I need to see it. I need to have it in front of me. Um so when it comes to goal setting, I'm like, okay, what's a reasonable time that I can get this done in? And then I extend that by like a month or two, maybe, because I need
Mm.
to be even more realistic with
Sure.
it. Because if it doesn't happen in that time, or if something comes up and I can't get to like that specific goal, then I just want to make sure that I don't feel like I'm letting myself down because sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Um, and I just do it step by step. Like, what do I need to get this done? Okay, well, I need A, B, and C. Okay, when can I get A done? When can I get B done? I like break up the breakup, and yeah, take it in small little chunks.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a journaler as well, so I love that because it's really helpful, and it's helpful too. I think as a reflection tool to kind of like look back and be like, hey, this is a thing I wanted to do, and I actually did it.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, it's really
exactly.
helpful. What kind of hobbies and passions do you have outside of streaming?
Mm. So I like cooking and baking, although I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I just baked like a lemon blueberry cake, but it was fine. It was fine.
Hmm.
So I'd love to get back into that. Oh my god, roller skating and rollerblading. More
Oh,
so rollerblading
fun.
than roller
Cool.
skating, but yeah,
Fun.
that was always fun. But I have to get some new skates because I haven't been able to. I wasn't able to bring them over, so I haven't skated for a while.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I love painting, and so I just got all my supplies that I need, and I'd like to do some more painting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Those are all like fun things for sure. Do you ever
Mm,
think about doing those things on stream, or is that something you kind of want to like keep sacred?
yeah, I mean, I thought about doing cooking streams and painting streams, but I think I like doing them alone. I
Mm,
don't want to feel as if like a dozen people are looking over my shoulder and I'm like, "Oh my god, what if I
sure.
mess up?" So,
Totally. No, I can see
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, although it's easy for me to do it in video games, like I mess up in video games all the time.
Mm,
So, I think it's just a matter of trying something new and putting my foot in. Because that could be it too. It's just trying new things always is scary.
yeah. Why is that?
Because I think so. I have this theory that, or maybe it's not a theory. Maybe everyone knows it, but we are our own worst critic. Like we want the best for ourselves, but we also want the worst for ourselves at the same time.
Mm,
So I feel like uh doing something extremely new, like half of yourself is like, nah, do the safe thing. You're good at the safe thing. Do that.
yeah.
So I just have to fight that other half of myself and just go for it. But
Yeah.
easier said than done.
Definitely easier said than done. And I think that as we age and become adults, like there's this kind of expectation that a lot of us have that like the things that we do are going to be done well, kind of a thing, and it's hard to allow yourself to do things poorly and enjoy them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So I'm in the middle of that now. I
Yeah.
like that. Doing things slowly and enjoying it.
Love that. What kind of things do you like doing poorly and enjoying it?
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
I envy that.
Um
I need to get on your level.
yeah, I mean, I as long as you try and you're having fun, you know.
Hmm.
So maybe I will do my first cooking stream soon. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Do you have a day job outside of streaming?
So I did. I was teaching Spanish to primary school
Oh, okay.
children.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did that within the first 3 months of me moving to the country. I one of Noodle's friends was like, "Hey, my sister's a teacher, and they're looking for a Spanish teacher." And so Noodle was like, "Oh, Atari knows Spanish," and I was like, "What?" And so I applied, and yeah, had an interview with the headmaster, and he really liked me, and the rest is history. And I had like
Yeah.
the best time with them. It was great.
That's awesome. How do you balance
Yeah.
like work and life and then stream life?
So since streaming, it's become a very, very important thing to me. So I fit it in, I make it work, even
Yeah.
if I'm like tired from like the day. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna stream. Um, but I keep my stream short.
Mm.
Usually it's like a max of 4 hours. I typically stay in like the 3.5 hour range. Whereas I know a lot of streamer peers will be like 5, 6, 8 hours. But
Yeah.
for myself, 3, 3.5, it's a good place to be.
Yeah. I feel like for everyone, you kind of find this sweet spot of like, that's where I feel comfortable. And this is where it's like, oh God, I'm so tired now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I wanna maintain the same level of myself, the same level of energy throughout the stream.
Yeah.
And I feel like after 4, definitely after 5 hours, I'm just like, okay, well, I need to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not fun
No,
for
that
anyone.
totally makes sense. Yeah. You talked about your husband, Noodle, obviously. He knows about your streaming. Do other people in
Mhm.
your real life know about your streaming?
Yeah, so my immediate family knows about my streaming. So my parents, my brothers, my sister. So sometimes they might stop by. My brothers usually stop by, and my mom sometimes says hi. Uh, but as far as anyone else, I don't think so. Like friends do in real life, but not any other family.
Yeah. What do they think about
Yeah.
it?
They think it's cool. Yeah, they don't really have like a negative opinion of it. They're like, you're doing what you want to do, and we think that's really cool. Like you actually have people in your chat. Good for you. Like so it's not it's they don't really mm, I don't know. They like it. It's good.
Yeah.
They have positive feelings about it.
Good. That's great.
Yeah.
Just this idea of like having people in your chat, and we've talked about the numbers and like growing your social media. Do you have advice or thoughts about, I don't know, the way in which you go about growth while also taking care of yourself?
Mm. Yeah. So the big thing is to have a healthy view of your numbers, because a lot of people who are like my size, like a small streamer, they think that they have to like have certain amount of followers and a certain amount of viewers to get opportunities, while that really isn't true. I've
Mm,
gotten like so many things just from networking. I feel like networking is like the biggest way you can get opportunities and still be a small streamer. So find like-minded people, talk to them, get to know people and learn from them, because I've been learning so much about streaming. Um, but you have to do it in a way to where like you don't want to seem like that's all you're interested in.
yeah.
You want to get to know people for themselves and as people and actually develop a relationship. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are missing out on, is like learning how to actually develop a really good relationship where you can appreciate the other people for what they do and they can appreciate you for what you do.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the best way to grow
Yeah,
and
definitely.
get opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and this idea too of like forming authentic relationships in an online space, in a digital space, what has that been like for you?
It's been amazing. I've met friends that I can genuinely call my friends, like,
Yeah.
and have like a bond that I know is going to last.
Yeah.
Like Fran, for instance, I know like we just mention each other all the time, but it's so true. Like, I genuinely love her, and I've gone cross countries to see her because like it's
Yeah.
a genuine relationship that we've cultivated, and it's very possible to do um, in a digital space, because even though it's digital, it's still real.
Yeah.
And that just goes for like everyone in my community, just like in our Discord, we're like sharing things about ourselves. And I feel like a special closeness to like each and every one of them. And
Yeah.
it's not something that you take lightly.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Yeah. Well, and we talked to Fran on the last episode, and we talked to her a little bit about TwitchCon and going to TwitchCon Amsterdam, which I know you went to as well, right? What
yes,
was
yeah,
that like?
exactly. That was absolutely incredible. Just like seeing everybody in real life and finally putting like a face and a body as well to a name
Mm,
was just amazing. It was so good and in an incredible environment. And it was a place where I actually had another one of my another opportunity. So I didn't even know there were like mixers in the place, but there was like a mixer that was happening maybe like a 20-minute bus ride away. So we did that and we were able to meet like all kinds of people in the gaming industry, just be through like people we knew. um we had that opportunity. So it's just another uh reason to like get to know people, get to know them. It's so important.
Yeah.
um because there are things that are happening right under your nose that you don't realize are happening, all kinds of like events and things that are happening behind closed doors that
Yeah.
I only got like a tiny little glimpse into. So yeah, yeah.
It sounds to me like you're really good at finding these opportunities to network and just finding opportunities in general and like leaning into that and allowing yourself to partake in that. And you've mentioned too this idea of being a small streamer. I'm curious, how do you define small streamer?
I feel like you're a small streamer if you can like see everybody in chat and remember who they are and recognize their
Mm,
name and ask them how their day went, and like you know your community in and out,
yeah.
like every single person who is there. I feel like that's how I defined it for myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Once I start like being like, oh hey, then I'm gonna be like, oh, have I made it? Like
I can totally see that. Yeah. That's funny. And you
but
never have that experience? You never have someone come in and you're like, "Who hi, who are you?"
not yet, not yet.
Yeah.
No, there are names who, I mean, they don't come in as often and they'll
Sure.
stop by and say hi, but
Sure.
I know them. Like I recognize them. But once there's like a complete stranger who like says they're always coming around and I'm like, "Oh, I don't remember you." Like
Yeah. Well, this is
then
interesting
yeah.
too because so many of our streams, everyone's streams on some level is kind of built by lurkers. Do you have lurkers that
Yeah.
you know are there?
Yeah, I do, and I love them so much.
Yeah.
Like I have a specific lurker who's been there. Well, actually, I think three specific lurkers who have been there from like day one, like PS4 days and early like Atari getting her first PC days. Um and like I know they're lurking. I just know it. And then yeah, they come in sometimes and they'll say hi maybe like once every 3 or 4 months,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, "Hi, I love you." It's really nice.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna
Mm.
turn to Twitch chat real quick. Twitch chat, I want to give you all an opportunity to ask Atari some questions. So in a minute here, we're gonna take questions from you. So if you have a question for Atari, type it in the chat, and we'll get to you. Um, Atari, what are some of your, I don't know, biggest learning moments from streaming? What are some of the things that you feel like some of the knowledge that you've gained from streaming over the time that you've started till now?
Mm. Yeah, I would say, hmm, some of the biggest knowledge. I would say that there comes a point where you are streaming and you're deciding what to do next, what to play next, what to whatever next. Sometimes you just have to do what you want to do
Mm,
and not let the community dictate what you should do. um I think it's very important to make yourself happy and not feel like you're catering to the masses, because eventually I feel like you'll lose more and more of yourself.
yeah.
So it's good that the community has their input, and if it's like a cute little game or something like that, that's fine. But if it's like completely going against like who you are and like what you want to do, then I think it's very important to stay true to yourself and being like, no, actually, I'm this kind of streamer and this is what we're gonna do. But I found that most of the time the community, like no matter what I try, um, my community and my friends uh don't mind because they stick around for me, I guess,
Yeah.
which is so weird to say, but it's really
Yeah.
nice. It's a nice thought. It's a nice thought.
Definitely. Yeah. There's something very validating about that, I think, knowing
Mm.
that people are there because of you and who you are, and especially when you you're not playing a character on stream. You are being who you are in real life for the most part, right? Like we all have like certain ways that we act in different situations, obviously, but for the most part it's
Mm,
like, yeah, you are you and your stream is you, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some things that you have found to be like really fun to do on stream? And conversely, what are some things that you've been like, no, not so much. That didn't work out the way I thought.
Yeah, so recently I didn't know how this was going to go, but I have like 4 Lego kits
Oh, I
that
saw
I've really
that the
been
other
wanting to
day. Yeah.
yeah, that I've really been wanting to like build, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it on stream. I'm gonna save it for stream. So I've been holding onto these boxes for so long, and I'm like, okay, this is the time I'm doing it. And so I did it a couple days ago on the Friday, and it was so relaxing. Like after stream, I had so much energy, and it just felt good to just like follow instructions and build Lego. And I didn't think that it was going to be so much fun, but I really enjoyed it. And I feel like people got to do their own thing as well, and they got to chill. Some people were talking, and we talked about like a bunch of random things. Like it was really nice. I enjoyed
Yeah.
myself.
That's great. That's so fun.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. Let me see what's happening over here with Twitch chat. Um, Franti says, "Do you have any regrets when it comes to streaming?"
Ooh, regrets. No. No, I don't think I do. No. I think streaming has been the most fun I've had in so long. Every time is different, and it's
Hmm.
it's just so much fun. You never know what you're going to get. And I
Yeah.
think the anticipation of that is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. T. Miller wants to know. You said you love flowers, and we see sunflowers. Are they your favorite? And if so, is there any specific reason why?
Ooh. Sunflowers aren't my favorite.
Gasp.
which is even though I literally have them everywhere, like the cup that I'm drinking from says sunflower. I like them. They're kind of alien because like the middle is so big, and like I don't know, but they're great. I I think right now it always changes, but I love marigolds. And my
Hmm.
favorite plants are called pinstripe plants. They're like Calanthea. I forget their Latin name, but they're pinstripe plants. And those are my favorites right now.
Yeah.
But it always changes.
So now I'm
Like,
curious. Now it's a me question. How did the sunflower kind of background become your thing?
uh, my favorite color is yellow. So I think that just happened from that kind of way. We talked about like the sun and something. I think someone called me a sunflower, and somehow that kind of just like morphed into like that being my brand, I guess.
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, just sunflowers everywhere all the time. My favorite color used to be like a mix of like red and black, like the combination. But then like I went through like some really deep, dark, depressive moments, and
Hmm.
I like remember when I was younger looking up ways like how to be happy. And like then there was this whole thing I was reading on like color theory, and that like yellow makes you happy. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna start surrounding myself with yellow. And like ever since, like the blanket that I'm using now, everything is yellow.
Yeah.
So
Do you find that
yeah.
has helped you?
Um, yeah, whether it's oh, what do you call it? Like those pills that aren't really pills.
A placebo?
Um a placebo, yeah, whether it's like the placebo effect or it's actually working. It's working.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
great. Love that. Let's see. We've got a question from. I was about to be like, we have a question from Nightbot. No, we don't. We have another question from Fran. Fran says, "Would you rather ride a hippo or have dinner with a penguin?" Okay, this is an in
Oh
joke,
my
and I
god.
need the background. I need to know.
This is
I need
why would she do this to
context.
me?
I-
Why would she do this to me? Okay. I'm shaking. Wow, I'm actually okay. So I have a weird fear.
Hmm.
Okay, it's but also like a love. I have a love-fear relationship when it comes to penguins.
Okay.
Oh, I can't believe she's making me okay. Sorry.
You don't have to talk about
I
anything you don't want to talk about.
No,
You do
it's
not
actually
have to answer
hilarious
that.
and
Okay,
ridiculous.
great.
Yeah. So, penguins are I love them. They just waddle and they're cute, but like the actual thought of a penguin right in front of me, like what's it gonna do?
Mm,
Like it can't it's is it gonna peck me? Is it like it's just the thought of an actual penguin in front and they're quite tall.
sure.
Like you don't realize it, but penguins are freaking tall.
Sure, yeah.
And it's just I don't know. Something about the actual thought of a penguin in front of me gets me weird. Like it
Yeah.
makes me feel weird. And then I think last year, maybe a couple years ago, I saw like the inside of their mouths and their tongues are spiked as well. And I saw the picture, like a still of a penguin with its mouth opened, and it like my mind. And
This is amazing.
so it depends on how big the dinner table is. Will it give me space to like run away if anything happens? If it decides to like make any like fast moves,
Yeah.
like I can just go. Whereas hippos, I hate hippos. I'm an animal person. I love
Wow.
animals so much. Like I am an animal person,
Uh-huh.
and hippos can catch these hands. There's so many things
Wow.
that actually I wouldn't even try to punch a hippo because they're terribly. What are
This
they
is
saying?
amazing. Can
They're
I just say I am in shock and I am awed and I am grateful. Please continue. I
they're amazingly aggressive and territorial. They
Yeah.
ruin every single biome. That like you can't put a hippo anywhere where it won't destroy everything around it. Like it kills lions, but just for fun. They're herbivores. They just like to kill. Like I oh my god, sorry. I'm gonna go on a
Do
rant.
go
And
off.
that's
Yeah.
they're not good. They're not good people. And
Oh man. That's I just I gotta process here. Well, okay, I want to validate the penguin thing because birds are dinosaurs. So you know,
yeah.
I get that for sure.
Yeah.
And I think in general, wildlife is very unpredictable, and hippos are notoriously dangerous. So you know,
Yeah.
I think there's some
And
validation there. Yeah.
who unhinges their mouth 180 degrees? What?
You know a
That's
lot
insane.
about hippos.
I know a lot about a lot of animals.
This is good. That's great question. Amazing question. Um, uh, Master Noodle wants to know what is your favorite horror game and why is it Phasmophobia? No.
I think this is what I mean about my community being sus, and they like getting a rise out of me. No, I'm not a horror gamer, although I have played horror games.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we does the Walking Dead Telltale series count as horror?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
like yeah, so for the month of February we played through all of them and the DLCs like all of it and I enjoyed the story. So I would say that's as scary as I'll get.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot happening. We're talking about chickens. We're talking about penguins. There's my Iron Biscuit says my relationship with penguins has now permanently been changed.
Love you.
This is so good. Oh, incredible! Thank you, chat, for the questions. Amazing. Atari, what is some advice that you would give your younger streamer self?
Ooh, my younger streamer self. Keep having fun. The right people are gonna come by at the right time. And everything happens in its own time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't compare yourself to anyone because you are you and you're not doing it like anyone else. So
Yeah.
yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you, in a space where it is competitive in so many ways, but also so community driven and so network driven, how do you not compare yourself to others?
Ooh, that's so hard.
It's a big question.
Um,
Yeah.
it's yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to not compare yourself because
Yeah.
sometimes you see peers who are like doing amazingly, and you're like, yes, good for you. I'm so happy for you. And
Hmm.
then like sometimes there's a niggling like voice in the back of your head that's like, what about you? What are you doing?
Mm.
And
Hmm.
that's when I have to like literally say like, calm down, I'm doing my own thing, and then I just think about something else.
Sure.
So yeah, you just sometimes have to stop, like literally stop that train of thinking,
Yeah.
nip it in the bud, and just be like, you're doing your own thing. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's great advice. Well, I think we're about to wrap some things up here. But what I'd like to do is end with a little questionnaire that has become the tradition here. So this is
Ooh.
ten final questions inspired by James Lipton, Bernard Pivot, and CJ the Yaks. So just kind of quick and dirty, first thing that comes to mind. Atari,
Okay.
which game or activity do you love to stream the most?
Ooh, Stardew. I love
Yes.
Stardew.
Yeah. What game or
Yeah.
activity do you hate to stream the most?
Hate? Mm, I don't think I've hated anything really.
Yeah.
Maybe the thing I hated most was be like a scary thing, like um, the quarry, maybe.
Oh, okay. Um, what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Colors. I
Hmm.
love colors. Any colors, give them all to me.
What turns you off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Negativity. I can't be around it.
Hmm. Yeah. Which streamer would you like to meet most IRL?
Oh my god. Probably. Oh, it's a tie. Cup a noodle or a platypus.
Okay.
I love them both
Yeah.
for different reasons.
Yeah. What is something you'd like to try on stream but never have?
Painting.
Yeah. What is something you would never want to do on stream?
I would never want to go. I would never want to do a workout stream.
Okay. Why do you go live?
Ooh, I go live for the connection. I think it's just amazing to be a part of someone's day and then be a part of my day as well.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. All right, follow
Yeah.
up question. Why do you really go live?
Oof. Well, it's it's really the only job where every single step of the process I've actually been happy. I've actually enjoyed. You get full creative control as to anything you want to put out into the world, and I think that's beautiful, and everyone should have that opportunity in some aspect of their life, one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, final question. You're on your deathbed. You know exactly how much time you have. You have any and all resources available to you. Viewer count doesn't matter. Commercial viability doesn't matter. None of that matters. What do you do for your final stream on Earth?
Cheesecake safari. We're going on a
What?
safari, and I'm eating cheesecake the entire time. I'm having cheesecake ice cream. I'm having strawberry cheesecake. I'm having any kind, and we're just going to look at all the animals.
Oh my God, Cheesecake Safari. I love it. That's amazing. Atari, this was just lovely and wonderful, and I'm so grateful to have gotten to know you more. If you all are not, yeah, that's a fucking plan, is what Mercenary Jane says. I agree. If you all are not following Atari, go do it. Go follow Atari on all the things, please. Go. We got the Twitch, we got the Twitter. I sound like I'm 84 years old. We got the Instagram, we got the TikTok, we got the YouTubes. Is there anything you want to promote? Any final thoughts or things you want to share?
Ooh, I don't know. As far as promotion, like I'm trying to get my YouTube up. I'm trying to be consistent. So
Click
if
on
you
that
wouldn't
YouTube
mind
right now.
subscribing on YouTube, I
Do
would
it.
really, really appreciate it.
Everybody go do it.
Thank
Right
you.
now. Thank you so
What are you
much.
doing? Cut the stream off. Go, go.
End of stream. Go to YouTube. Why are you still here? Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing your experience and your humor and your light. Like I'm so grateful to have met you in this space. I'm so grateful to have spent this time with you today.
Honestly, it's a pleasure, and you're such a professional. Thanks for making me feel right at home. You're lovely, and your community is lovely.
Thank
you guys for having me.
Oh my God, my pleasure. Honestly, my pleasure. So with that, as is tradition on the podcast, who would you like to raid? Who would you like to pass the love off to?
So, I think that we should go to JC. Just like cute, cozy. She's playing Animal Crossing, so it's spelled like this.
Perfect. Okay. We're going to go say hi to JC here. And here is the raid message. Everyone, if you could copy paste, we're going to say Atarii sent us. Make sure that JC knows. Typing professional, very professional on top of my shit. So do that, dear people of chat. If you could do us a favor, copy paste that, send JC some love. Let me make sure I'm spelling it correctly. Awesome. There it is. Perfect. We got it. All right. Thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you to everyone in Twitch chat for hanging out. It's always so lovely to see everybody. We do this every other Sunday for the most part. We've got another great streamer that we'll be interviewing in a couple of weeks here. And then if you or anyone that you know would be a great guest on the podcast, you can send an email to whywegolive@gmail.com. It is WHYWEGOLIVE at gmail.com. You can follow Why We Go Live on all the social shit. Nailed it. Sorry, thanks again. Everybody say hi to JC, and I'm gonna see you soon. Okay, love you. Bye. We're raiding. It's happening. We're doing it. I just realized I didn't open up their stream and my own thing. We're doing it. It's happening.
Oh.
And
yes.
Are we done being live now?